Okay, now let's talk about pressures for small inventories. Okay, inventory holding cost, which also includes cost of capital. Inventory holding cost consists of any type of incurred cost in a storage area, in a warehouse, such as energy cost, insurance cost, labor cost, deterioration cost, investment cost, such as again wrecking cost or the land cost. So, which is typically a cost of holding one unit of goods in your inventory. For the simplicity, it's also sometimes accounted as the cost of capital, the opportunity cost of money, because you guys know that inventory means cash. However, cash is more liquid than inventory, right? So, in our calculations, again for the simplicity, we take interest rate as a cost of capital or opportunity cost of money on behalf of inventory holding cost. So if the cost of money, if the cost of capital or inventory holding cost is high, then we would like to keep less amount of inventory. And similarly, for the storage and handling costs, which are also included in inventory holding costs, as you guys can easily see that if storage costs, handling costs are high, then you would like to keep low amount of inventory. Taxes, which are also included in inventory holding costs. Insurance, which is also included in inventory holding costs. Shrinkage, pilferage, obsolescence, deterioration, if they happen in your storage area, if your products are deteriorated, if your products are theft, and if you have luxury items and if they are theft, then you would like to keep less amount of inventory, low amount of inventory. Okay? Types of inventories. We previously talked about types of inventories from the perspective of material. Now, let's talk about in an operation. There are mainly four types of inventory we talk about. The first one is called cycle inventory. Cycle inventory is the portion of total inventory that varies with a lot size. Lot size is the batch, is the amount of order we buy. Okay, suppose that we call Ömer, okay, and who is our supplier, and say that okay, we call our supplier and say that I would like to buy 1,000 bolts or 1,000 chocolate bars, 100 boxes of water. So this is our lot size. This is our order size. Okay. So cycle inventory is the average amount of inventory in a cycle in between two orders. Between the time between two orders is called a cycle. Safety stock, as we said before, we keep safety stock against uncertainties, uncertainties in demand, uncertainties in lead time, and so on. So it is the excess inventory. It is the excess inventory we keep to protect ourselves. And spatial inventory is used to absorb uneven demand or supply. As we said before, because of the seasonalities, we sometimes have high demand, we sometimes have low demand, okay? And in order to flatten demand, in order to make our demand even, okay, we keep anticipation inventory. We keep inventory for our future demand. So We hire, for instance, we hire only 100 workers. With those 100 workers, we produce our goods in advance and put them in our inventory. And in the future, when we have high demand, instead of hiring additional workers, we keep producing with our maximum capacity and meet our customer demands from the current production and the stock, what we produced before. Pipeline inventory could be easily called inventory in transit. In your textbook, it refers to the inventory during lead time. But in industry, they use pipeline inventory as an inventory in transit. It means that after we call our supplier and ask, let's say, 100 boxes of chocolate bars, and as soon as they produce it and send it, and as soon as the truck leaves from their facility until it arrives to our facility, this inventory, this goods, this 100 bucks of goods is on the road. It's coming to our facility, okay? So it is accounted as pipeline inventory. But again, in your textbook, pipeline inventory is the inventory during the lead time. Let's take a look how cycle inventory is calculated. As you guys know, that average inventory in a cycle is between time between two orders. At the beginning of the cycle, we have two units of goods. At the end of cycle, for a point of time, we have zero inventory, and so the average inventory in a cycle is Q over 2. So this is cycle. This is called cycle inventory in the simplest inventory model. Pipeline inventory, as I said before, it is the demand during lead time. Suppose that average demand during the lead time is a capital D bar, DL bar. Average demand per period is small d bar, and L refers to the period of lead time. So pipeline inventory or demand during lead time is average demand per period times number of periods in a lead time. Okay, here is an example problem. A plant makes monthly shipments of electric drills to a wholesaler in average lot size of 280 drills. So in this sentence, we understand that the lot size, the amount of order is 280. Okay, this is the order size. The wholesaler's average demand is 80. I'm sorry, 70. 70 drills a week. This is the average demand. And the lead time is 3 weeks. It is constant, by the way, it is fixed for the simplicity. The wholesaler must pay for the inventory from the moment the plant makes a shipment. If the wholesaler is willing to increase its purchase quantity to 350 units, the plant will give priority to wholesaler and guarantee a lead time of only 3 weeks. So if you buy more, the supplier guarantees that he will deliver in less amount of time. What is the effect on the wholesaler cycle and pipeline inventories? We know that cycle inventory is the average inventory in a cycle, and pipeline inventory is the demand during average demand during lead time. In this example, in the first case, the Q1 is 280. So 280 divided by 2, 140, right? This is the cycle inventory. In the second case, if you buy more, the cycle inventory will be increased to 350 divided by 2, 175. So you can see these in your next slides. And in the first case, the pipeline inventory or the average demand during lead time is, this is the average demand per week, and the lead time is 3, which is 240. In the second case, it will be what? It will be what? Average demand doesn't change. Average demand doesn't change, still 70. However, lead time is 2 weeks. So in the second case, this will be reduced to 140. So cycle inventory increases to 175. However, pipeline inventory decreases because of increasing lot size and decreasing lead time. If you want to reduce your inventory, there are several tactics. One is related to your cycle inventory. If you reduce your lot size, you can reduce cycle inventory. We will learn in a simple economic order quantity model that if you reduce your ordering cost and setup cost, then you can reduce order quantity. So you can reduce cycle inventory. If you can increase repeatability to eliminate the need for changeovers or setup time, you can also decrease cycle inventory. What is repeatability? I put the definition right here, is the degree to which the same work can be done again and again, which can be increased by high product demand. If you have high product demand, then you spend less amount of time for setup. The use of specialization, like in the, remember, flow shop system, okay, assembly type production system. If you can devote your resources exclusively to a product, again, as in a typical flow shop or batch production system, the use of the same part in many different products, this is also called repeatability, which also reduces the setup requirement of setup time. Flexible automation, one worker, multiple machines concepts, and group technology also helps us to increase repeatability in comparison to shop shop. If you want to reduce your safety stock, as you guys know, that's related to uncertainty. Okay, so we may want to place our orders as close as possible to the receiving time, okay, if it is possible. So what do? We actually reduce lead time. If we can come up with accurate forecasts, if our forecasts are more accurate than before, which we can reduce uncertainty in demand, so we can reduce safety stock, I'm sorry. And it's also related to lead times. If you can reduce lead times, you can reduce safety stock. Uncertainty, as long as you reduce uncertainties, you always come up with lower safety stock. And it's about reliability of your equipment and your labors. Okay, this is related to uncertainty in equipment, machinery, or labors. If you can reduce again uncertainty, you can decrease your safety stock. If you want to reduce anticipation inventory, you need to match your demand rate with the production rates. Remember, anticipation inventory occurs when demand is uneven, high demand and low demand seasons. Okay, you can add new products with different demand cycles. So when you have low season, you can add new products to produce more or to use your production capacity. You can use marketing strategies such as off-season promotional campaigns or seasonal pricing plans. Pipeline inventory, it is the average demand during lead time or inventory in transit. When you reduce lead times, you can reduce pipeline inventory, right? If you can find suppliers, very responsive suppliers, and select new carriers, if they can deliver your goods in short amount of times, then you can reduce pipeline inventory, right? Okay, and remember, as in the previous example, changing queue, change in those cases where the lead time depends on the lot size, because in the previous example, the supplier told us that if we buy more, then he can deliver in shorter amount of time, right? So if that is the case, playing with Q, we can reduce pipeline inventory. Otherwise, pipeline inventory is not affected by our order size because pipeline inventory is the average demand during lead time. It doesn't depend on Q. Okay, it's enough for this part. In the next discussion, I will be talking about ABC analysis. Okay, have a nice day. Take care.